And all those things that come from over there are in your mind. And you're here in her front lines waging war on us. Right now, every single last non-native person who is here in Turtle Island, presently in this instance, is waging war against the original peoples of Turtle Island. Your mere existence here in our house implies it. It shows it to you. Okay, so I am very happy that this process is taking place because, like I said, it makes things become addressed. I'm very glad to see the two gentlemen, Eagle Eye Moon, and I don't know who the other gentleman is. I got to tell you about this. This I'm really offended by. It's not a good thing. This is a very bad representation to have, where you're talking to somebody who's there, who says their name, but then you don't see another person. This is a very bad thing to do. And I'm going to say that if we ever come back again to this, I will not be sitting in this, allowing that to happen. This is the last time that is going to happen, where I am going to participate in a process such as this. So for the two gentlemen there, understand, this is not going to happen again. Yous are going to correct this. So the proper thing to do right now would be, whoever the British guy is for him to come into the picture right now, to show his face right now. That would mean, if you were like this, you can't see me, you can hear me talking, you need to come into the picture right now where I can see you right now. That would be your correction. I can't hear you. But the reason why I was asking you to come into the picture right now is to give a proper, what's the word here? Introduction of yourself.
Presentation.
Well, to introduce yourself properly to us.
Well, as I did last time, Stuart, Nia Kihu Miskizik Napu. I'm Eagle Eye Man. As I told you, that's a loose translation because of the English language. You can't translate anything from a tribal language accurately into English. It doesn't work. As to who I am, I was adopted into a tribe, the Shiship Sipi Wakwet, the Nishanabek, Duck River Bay Indians, which is what's commonly called Duck Bay, Manitoba, many years ago. And as to what I was telling you, the things that I learned from an old savage whose name was Meredith Quinn. And just to interject, I like it, most of everything that you've said, Stuart. I agree with it, with the exception of the 2 row wampum. No, it is not the only treaty. It is superseded by treaties that your people made prior to it. I'm going to take it you're not even aware of the foundation of international law.
Make me aware.
Well, if you were, you would know that it comprises 6 treaties. Noah's Ark Treaty. It's not a boat like in the Bible. It's a treaty that was signed between the White Tribe and the Red Tribe, where the Red Tribe surrendered, the White Tribe surrendered to the Red Tribe as if there had been a war, even though there was no war. Because the White Tribe came to you guys for help. They were having problems with, guess who? The Romans. Because the Romans were doing what the Romans always do, going around killing, raping, pillaging, stealing tribal people's lands in Europe. So what happened was yellow, black, and white tribal peoples all came to the Americas to ask the American Indian for help. And all 3 of those tribes surrendered their sovereignty to the American Indian, which is why the American Indian clan mother is the only sovereignty that remains unextinguished. Now, I'm saying these terms because they have relevance in law, because if you know anything about law, the only way you can lose your sovereignty is you are defeated in warfare or you sign it away. Neither of which two things have ever happened to the American Indian. Because when I say American Indian, I'm not talking about the native Indian that you're talking about that signed treatises, of which there are many thousands across the United States and Canada's, which are not treaty, they're treaties and can be called a treaty, but they are not. They're just an international agreement. The three treaties that they signed was Noah's Ark, Seal of Solomon, Palladium of Troy. The three treaties on the American Indian side was the Peace Pipe Treaty, Wampum Belt, and Canes of Authority. But the Wampum Belt they're talking about isn't the Wampum Belt that you're talking about. Treaty. Because it's earlier. So, three other tribes, the three other quarters of the world, surrendered to the American Indian. The American Indian is the only, like I said, unextinguished tribal sovereignty in the world. That's why the American Indian clan mother, that's why the white man is so scared of the American Indian clan mothers, because you do have the power by law, ladies. You could stop all of this shit going on around the world, actually, by law. If you really knew who you were, like Meredith says, if you know who you are, where you are, and who owns what, which relates to what you're saying, Stuart. If you know who you are, you're not in Canada, you know, no such thing, corporate entity. Like I said, I just learned what Meredith had written about and taught. And he was an incredibly knowledgeable man, many different sciences. He was taught like the ancient tribal sciences, you know, I mean, like the advanced mathematics, astrophysics, all of that kind of stuff that used to exist within the Indian education system before the white man came along and, you know, screwed them all up, everything else, etc., etc. We know what they've done, but they've also destroyed that knowledge. It went into hiding. But this is why I have so much faith in what Meredith talks about, because I know the source. See, it's like what you talk about, Stuart. And the source was his grandmother, and his grandmother was a head clan mother of the Dakota Empire. And she was acknowledged as such by the American government. She lived on that reservation, the Sisseton-Wahpeton Sioux Reservation, as it was called. She had a big two-story house, cars, money, because she got it from the government. She commanded the American government to do things, and they did what she commanded. If you comprehend what I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm telling you, ladies sitting there, have the power to do as well. Because if you are a sovereign, you command the white man what he is to do. You don't suggest to him or anything else. You're a sovereign and you command. That's law. And as I said before, supreme law of the land, it is the creator's law that the women rule, because that's what you find in nature. You look amongst the animal kingdoms and that's what you find throughout the animal kingdom. Queen bee, queen ant, horses, elephants, all have a head matriarch. Geese, when they fly, led by a female goose. Deer, moose, elk, bear, all have head females. The wolf, everybody's heard of the alpha male. Not many people seem to be aware of the alpha female that actually runs the pack. Savage comes from the word, root word, silvictus. Silvictus, those who live amongst the trees. If you're living amongst the trees, you're living under the natural law, supreme law of the land. And nobody can argue that that is the creator's system of government, because that is what you find in nature. So that's why savage is not a derogatory term. It's the correct legal term for a sovereign Indian, also known as a signatory Indian. A signatory Indian is a sovereign. That's one who as Stuart says, knows who they are, where they are, and who owns what.
Yeah, over here.
So anyway,
Can I ask you your name?
Kihu, Miskizik, Napu.
Is that the proper way to refer to you?
Yes.
Okay. In my language, I would call you something else. So in my language, if I said it my way, that wouldn't be the proper way to refer to you. You just said you're the one telling me what your name is.
My
That's
calling.
the proper way to refer to you. So let's understand something. What you just said, the proper way to refer to natives is rooted within the Latin language. That's not the proper way to refer to us.
What you just said there, you just referred to yourself as a native, correct?
Oh, okay. Let's not play
Yes
games.
or no, Stuart? The reason I'm asking that question is because you're using the English language to communicate. And
Okay.
when you use certain...
In a very fast attempt to get to a truth here, I gave a reference to native.
Yes.
So let's not dwell on that. The true thing here that I said was I asked your name. You
All right.
identified yourself. You said that's your name.
I
No.
said that's my calling because I don't have a name. I'm just being specific here now because if you're talking...
That's what I want to be. I want
Yes,
to be specific.
Okay. Well, then let's be specific. I do not have a name.
Okay,
Only
all right, that's fine.
Only
how do you-
things have names, Stuart. So
How do you
unless you're a
refer to
person, a place,
yourself?
or a thing, then you don't have a name. You
How
have
do you
a
refer to yourself?
calling. I just told you. Can you
Okay,
hear me,
so
ladies?
is that a name? Is that a name?
In the language of the people of the tribe that I'm from, Kihu is the golden eagle. Miskizik, I, Napu, man.
Okay, so that's the proper way to refer to you, right?
In the language of the tribe that I'm from,
Okay,
that's how they use it.
The proper way to refer to you.
Which is
Now,
what I said.
apply that also to the native people. You said the proper name for the native people is rooted in the Latin language. That's not the proper way.
In English, Stuart.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
it's not.
comprehend that we are communicating in English right now?
Oh, hey, wait a minute, buddy.
Well, my friend,
You
I'm
wait a
trying
minute
to
there, buddy.
something.
Let me tell you something. If you think you're going to become a smartass with me, you got another goddamn thing coming, man. I don't give a shit who you want to project yourself to everybody else, but you got to goddamn talk respectful.
Then you ought to. You give respect to get respect, Stuart. And you were the one in the initial instance who was extremely disrespectful and insulting in our initial conversation. Remember?
How did I insult you?
Because you were under the wrong impression that we were there to attack you, apparently, because you have no standing with no clan mother. And that is not why we were there.
Okay, so right now you're going back to last week's conversation.
Yes,
when
you were insulting.
Okay, then look, let's deal with one thing at a time. I got no problem. If you want to go back to last week's conversation, let's do it. But let's work our way back from here. Let's establish something. You said you are from a tribal nation, the tribe that you're from. Okay, what tribe is that? Tell me, what tribe is it?
Sidiskow the Theowik.
And where are they from?
That's what you would commonly call northern Manitoba, Winnipeg, southern Manitoba. They've got a large territory.
Okay, and this is where you said that you were adopted?
Yes.
Actually, okay, is that adoption? Is that adoption into that nation what gives you the right to say that you're from that tribe?
Yes, Stuart.
Okay, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Because when you are adopted, you are one of the people. You're not one of a second class one of the people, as a lot of people seem to comprehend, and they are wrong. And it's like looking at an Indian that's got mixed blood and saying, well, he's got mixed blood, he's not Indian. That's bullshit. If you are Indian or direct descent of Indian, no matter how small the percentage might be, you are Indian.
Yeah, I
what
agree.
differentiates you is your belief and where you pledge your allegiance. which is gets back to what you're saying.
That means a
And you're
person
correct.
of mixed blood has to decide something.
Mixed blood doesn't
has
matter. It's where they pledge their allegiance. If their allegiance is to the clan mothers, then that's the law. The blood has nothing to do with it. Remember this, the American Indian religion is the one religion in the world that has no color lines. And if you really comprehend that, what that means, the color of your skin is totally irrelevant. It's where you pledge your allegiance. It's exactly what you were just describing about the cop that showed up that looks like an Indian. That's a white man because his allegiance is to that law. It could be 100% full-blood Indian. So what? He's a white man.
Let's not, we're getting too far away from here, from the question that I asked you. Getting too far away from here. You say that you were adopted in this nation. Now, was that just an individual, a family that adopted you, or was it done in front of the whole nation in their nation ceremony?
It was done in front of the clan by the head clan mother of that clan.
In front of the whole clan, the nation?
Of that clan. 5 clans, basic clans make up a tribe, Stuart. Okay. So it wasn't in front of the other clans because each clan mother is her own sovereign over her own clan. Other clans don't have any business in the other clan's business, do they?
Oh, yes, they do. I guess you're going to tell me about our law. Why don't you tell me about our law?
When they have joint interests to talk about, yes. But if you're telling me that the Turtle clan or the Wolf clan or the Eagle clan mother has say-so over the Deer clan mother's clan, I think the Deer clan mother might have something to say about that because that's her people, her clan.
Okay, you're correct when you say you think, but you think wrongly. Your perception is wrong.
Okay, why is that?
One clan on their own could adopt a person. Sure, one person could adopt a person. But that does not mean that that person is adopted into the nation. It doesn't mean that. In order to be adopted into the nation, yes, you have to be adopted into the clan, and that clan has to present it to all the other clans for confirmation. If it is not, you are not adopted into the nation, which means that you do not have the right to say that this is my nation.
Well, then I would disagree with you because you are now going against the word of a head clan mother. Who are you? Are you a woman?
That head clan mother. I don't care. I'll talk to that head clan mother.
There you go. You don't care. I just told you you are going to supersede the word and law of a clan mother.
You're saying.
No, you don't.
I do not care what you are saying. If you want to get this,
you don't because you don't want to learn, do you?
Pardon me?
I said that's right. You don't because you do not wish to learn. You think you already know and you don't. There's a lot that you don't know. I don't wish to learn a
goddamn thing that you think you have to share because everything that you have is mixed. It's mixed. It's in your oration. You are uncertain of your identity.
No, I'm not. You are uncertain of my identity. I know exactly who I am.
I'm certain of you. I'm certain. I know.
You're the one who doesn't know, Stuart. Don't be putting words in my mouth or thoughts that you think into my.
Okay, listen here, white man. You're a white man, and you're here in this
right there. You made your error. You look at me and you see a white man, and you are wrong, brother. Because I actually come from the Wolf clan myself as well. I know my clan from my tribal ancestry. You understand? It does not matter who you are. Stuart, you understand it does not matter who you are in this world because whoever you are, you come from a legitimate tribe and government that has signed treaty in the past. Everybody in the world is tribal in their beginning. But yes, Europe had theirs wiped out a long time before they started doing it here. Everything they've done to the American Indian here, they did to the white tribal peoples over in Europe first. 200 million of my people were killed. That exceeds the amount of Indians that they killed in North America, man.
You just said it,
Killed a lot.
200 million of your people. You just admitted it. Your
That's
people
right.
in
White
Europe.
tribal peoples, Stuart.
Not
In Europe.
Europeans.
White tribal peoples, not Europeans.
Okay, listen, this is
You understand?
precisely what I had, when you had asked me about the court case, this is precisely what I spoke about. This is precisely where the non-native people overstep, where they go too far. And I'm telling you right now, I'll say it to your face, Eagle Eye man. Yeah, you do not have the right. You are going too far. You are misrepresenting things, and you are going to go nowhere. It's
Well,
gonna
my
get you
friend,
nowhere.
let's agree to disagree, because
Okay, that's
I
fine.
abide by the word of the women. The women are the law. And if they choose someone to speak on their behalf, unless you think you're going to supersede them, in which case you go right ahead. I know who I am. I know what tribe I come from. And I also
Listen,
have the
this is a
authority of
joke.
the
I
head
got no
grandmother
reason to
behind
talk
me.
to you. I got no reason to talk to you, so this isn't going to happen again with
No, you don't,
Please,
because you are not
please, I
open
got no
to
problem if
learning,
you want to come,
Stuart.
if you want to have a further discussion with us, but I will not reduce myself to speaking with this guy like as if we're on the same level of anything.
No,
May I
we're
step in,
not.
please?
We're not, because I'm not bringing myself down to your level, Stuart.
Um,
And that's all there
May
is
I
to that.
step in, please? For just a
Yes.
moment.
Conversation is
Oh.
over. That conversation
No.
with
Yes,
each
it
side
is.
are over.
Can I make peace?
No, I'm not going to hear it. I've already identified it's over.
Yeah. What you've done is revealed that you're prejudiced, that
Thank
you're
you.
hurting,
Thank you.
and that you seem to
Thank you.
think we're here to attack you. I don't
Hey,
comprehend
like I
that.
said, it's over. What does that mean when it's over? If it's over, you walk away. You don't hear what the other person's saying. I'm saying here right now. Out of
He's just
respect for
making
wisdom.
coffee. He's just making coffee. Okay. End of the
Why
day.
are we devolving like this?
Because man's energy doesn't provide anything but limitations, and that's all. At the end of the day, they're both in the same boat and they don't see it. Anyway, look here, Stuart. I comprehend.
Don't adjust me.
I
Don't adjust.
comprehend. Listen. No. You see, your ears are closed, your eyes are open, but you don't want to listen. And if you don't want to listen, when we get down the road and you have to look up to me, we're going to have a problem. Because it's not going to change anything, man.
Listen to the white man talk.
Yeah. See the white man? The white man's got red skin. Okay.
Hey,
Brown
good for
eyes.
you, man.
Brown eyes.
Good for you. Have fun on your journey. Guaranteed you and I will never be talking in the same place again. I don't talk about nonsense. I only talk about native truths and the realities of the two-row wampum. I don't stick my head into some fantasy of this treaty and that treaty from 400 BC and try to take it over here and think
Okay,
it's going to
yeah.
apply to this or that. Come
Okay,
on.
look, I love
There's no way you
everybody,
can take this
but I
to.
don't need this. I'm
Oh, well,
not
stop
here
it then.
for this.
Let's stop.
I am not here to hear you talk and not put a substance towards the conversation. I'm not here to hear you offend the guy who saved my freaking life.
See you later,
Bye.
Lisa.
I'm
See
out
you
of here.
later.
Bye. Take care.
Oh, good. He's going. Okay, we'll stay.
Good. We're still here. Good.
Okay,
Hi.
can I have to say something, if I may?
You gotta say something,
Yes,
Lisa.
please.
You gotta say something.
Okay. One, I have to excuse myself. I have prior commitments because I am on the road. So I extend my thanks and my gratitude for those people. One of the things I will have to say, just so in parting, if I may, those original treaties are Star Nations treaties that exist and are adhered now by the military. The military has approached me as a de jure clan mother. I've been part of the rescues, part of the bases, and part of all what's going on. And they required our permission to come into these territories. Whether we like it or not, I would suggest highly that the Micmac shaman, who is Patty El Broussard, that is part of the actual Micmac territory, is a holder and the record keeper of some of the original bloodlines. And I would highly suggest, because of the international viewpoints that are being brought in, not just wampum, but all those existing treaties that are still to be maintained and enforced by the military to this day. And Patty Broussard has got those records that I think would be very helpful in this situation, because we all have pieces of the puzzle, but I also know that those are still in existence, and that's the only thing they have to actually start enforcing. That's part of why we put the international arrest warrants, because Queen Elizabeth is not here. She's been executed. Many of the people on the world stage, whether it's Ottawa, Washington, DC, whatever, we boarded it up. The gold's been removed. And those people are being punished at Guantanamo Bay and other places because of their acts of war. They required my permission and my authority as a de jure clan mother to instigate it, which I did. And that is something that we have to look at. It is about the blood lineages, because I can go into different bands and reserves and they're natives or inhabitants. They're not even from the original bloodlines. They might be O negative. It doesn't matter about the color of the skin. It depends on the blood lineage. And the military holds those things. And so Patty Broussard has done that at Project Ascension. The other thing I've been working with heavily is to educate the people into international law, which is the premier law of the land, as a savage versus private public or an inhabitant, which is your third world country as a band and reserve, and the natives. And until those things get re-put back, we've been working with heavily, and I don't say working, playing and volunteering with Judge Alfred Weber, who is a tribunal, but also O positive judge, just like Sergeant Broussard is an RZRZ O positive blood that goes back to the Mayans. And they do have original authority, which is why I was brought in with those copper plates, because there's tribal matriarchs, 13 of them, and there's 13 clan mothers. And this bloodline has to be sorted out heavily and immediately. And the only one I think that could help with that is Sergeant Patty Broussard, who is former from the US Army and looking glass technology, but holds those records, and for the international stuff, and Judge Alfred Weber, who's an international war crimes judge. And what we're doing is, just to let you know, we're getting the oaths redone for all the new deputized sheriffs, because so they will actually adhere to. I was there present when they affirmed them all in, so that we could have international law and those treaties, original treaties, and adhere to the customs, usages, and law, and natural law, not the de facto stuff, but they've redone their oaths, and it's in process now. So when I thank you for this, I have to apologize for leaving, but I am on the road and I'm overtime quite well, as you know, by about half an hour. So I wish you all the best and much peace to SIBO, and I hope to see you guys soon. I will be on the road and I will be in touch, because we know that there's much to do. So merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet each and every one of you.
Okay, Karen, if you're leaving, I'm going to invite you to next Wednesday's Zoom, because everything that you just said, I got to address all of it. It's got to all be addressed. You can't just present all of this and then go without it being addressed. So I'm inviting you to next Wednesday's Zoom to address everything that you just said.
I will be on the road. I cannot promise that, unfortunately, at this time, because I am literally on the road in a camper and off grid without, I have to go visit someone here to get internet. I will do my utmost. I will be in contact with you, but I would also like to have Patty Broussard, Sergeant Broussard, present, because she's the one that has these records that Tim and Moon are referring to, or Eagle Eye Man, because
Okay,
they do
I'll
have the
let
records of the
I'll let you know in
Star
advance, they're not going to be welcome. No, I don't care to meet with anybody from the military. I don't care to meet with anybody from the
He's not in
police.
the military, they're ex-military, but I'm saying they're ex-military, but they're part of
Same thing.
the working with the hereditaries, because she's a Mi'kmaq. They're not military.
Listen, anybody who's joined the military, if they're a native person, they're not a native person any longer. And when they come out from the military and supposedly go back into their people to help, they're not there to help. They're there to destroy.
What I do say though, Stuart, is that they've got the records, the original star discs. They have the copies of those things, of the bloodlines. That is so imperative that we have this and put this on the plate. We need to have those original records there. If she's a record.
What's a star disc? What's
The
the
star,
13
this are some of
contemplates?
the original treaties with the different star nations, and they do exist because just like we had the treaties that were done on copper plates or different, as Tim and Moon would know about those.
And
that
what
do
are
go-
star nations?
Star nations are your original galactics, and there was 22 seeding races that came here. That has to do with the creation stories.
Yeah.
And there were seeding times and periods. So those are things that I think, and I'll disagree with Moon and Tim, that those are critical things that are missing in most people's history. And unfortunately, it's been lost from generation to generation historically. And I think that needs to be put, but there are different actual statues where you had the 13 clan mothers, because clan mothers bloodlines are different than tribal blood mothers. And it's not white or red or black or anything. But for example, the Noah's Ark would be the Arcturian star nations, and the Palladian of Troy would be the Palladians from the Palladian sectors. So there were many
Would that
different.
be on the other side of the world? That's not over here.
No. I mean, coming down from the star nations inter and galactically, what you call the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Those are galactic councils or the Andromeda councils or your star nations councils. This has got nothing to do with east side, west side, across the pond or not. It's the globe, the planetary. And also,
Okay, you got me. I don't know what we're talking about now.
That's the problem.
on
That's the
Earth.
problem, is you're missing the star lore. You're missing some of the original star lore and those nations and treaties. But I have to go because I have to be on the road and I'm half an hour.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
thank
if you
you.
can't make it next Wednesday, then
I'll let you know.
the nearest Wednesday that you can, because I'm gonna promote that. I'm gonna put out there everything that you said. And you know that there's a lot of people who got a lot to say about what you just said.
Well,
Stuart,
I have no problem, but I really encourage you to go to Project Ascension, if I may. Project Ascension has got 2 sections done by many of us that are tribal and intergalactics. There's not just terrestrial people on this planet, there's non-terrestrials. And a lot of the non-terrestrials, O negatives, for example, or A negatives or Syrians or whatever, are also galactic friends of mine. So there's a whole, what you call non-terrestrial component to this. And this is what we're part of doing, is cleaning up these, what you call underground base cities, and where the missing women and children have gone, and through the adrenochrome trafficking line. So there's a whole different venue that needs to be addressed here, that we are addressing on an international and galactic thing, because they actually have what's called joint Earth representation. So they always had an actual bona fide clan mother on the Andromeda Council or the Galactic Councils or the Federation Councils, because we're just one little planet and we might be the jewel in the Goldilocks zone, but I happen to be it. So again, I would be happy to share some of this, but what I would encourage you to do is to go to Project Ascension, all of you, and go to the things that say triple spiral, as in not 2 poles of DNA, and the dualistic male, female, whatever. It's a trinary thing. And that's how the universe works, is in 3s, 3, 6, and 9.
Are you saying that right now there's aliens from not here on Earth, aliens from somewhere else that are here on Earth right now manipulating us? Is this what you're saying?
We have what I would call non-terrestrials. So we have actually galactic treaties that actually were done with the clan mothers. And there are some, it could be Orion, Palladian, Arcturian, Procyon, the Andromeda Council. Yes, there were some treaties, and there are some what I would then call aliens, which would be not 3-headed Martians, which of course are an alien, but what we would call a lean against your souls, but they are here without treaty. So you don't have a white Queen Elizabeth. She's a draconian race or reptilian race. They were able to do stuff. And yes, we have lots of them. That's what these underground cities, or we call DUMs, are, direct energy weapons. This is all about what COVID is a part. And am I a Conti? Yes, I am. And so I have no problem in dealing with what you call intergalactic or non-terrestrial. So yes, we have many non-terrestrials. Even the former Minister of Defense, Paul Hellyer for Canada, admits through the Serious Disclosure Project that we've got Greys, we have Orions, we have reptilians that are holding children here for adrenochrome and trafficking practices with every evergreen. And I can go to a lot of bands and reserves, one being the West Bank here in front of their safari thing that has evergreens. So they traffic a lot of native children by the natives. And so I know lots of things. I've been on the road doing it and covering, but that's a whole different subject. At this point, I would suggest you go to Project Ascension. You go to the one that says genetics.
how do you
And
spell that?
I don't spell. I don't
No.
do the
But how would you? Yes.
project. I have a whole linguistics program too, but I was the one that actually drafted the proclamation and hand delivered it to the RCMP to get Queen Elizabeth executed for the crimes against the children, tribal children. And I'm the clan mother. I'm not responsible for the tribes. I'm responsible for the clans, but I assist them all the time. So Project and Incension, INCENSION. The other one I'm going to encourage you to go to is what I've done with Judge Alfred Weber. I have done things. If you go to newsinsideout.com and just put Karen Lusick McDonald into that search bar, you will see how I'm the one that discovered there was venoms in those vials. I'm the one making the antidotes. I'm the one with Robert Young. I'm the one with also Gene Decode, who got the maps to actually rescue the tribal children as much as we can that have not been harvested. I'm also the one in here that the judge in the international courts, of which she is one, recognizes me and addresses me as the 13th White Bear clan mother, Karen Lusick McDonald. I am recognized by the international courts all the way through. So who doesn't recognize me on this planet is of little consequence to me at this point, quite frankly. And they're going to have to learn to understand our jurisdiction and our power. And I don't put myself into.
Does that mean that your jurisdiction is clan mother, that you have jurisdiction over the native nations here,
No.
in particular, let's say in so-called Canada?
There is, just so before I leave, I'm going to have you refer to an actual on Gale of Gaia. Patty Broussard spoke about it, how the international councils have already come together. And what they want to do is put the 13 clan mothers back together and the 13 tribe mothers to the original. And there is actually a statue that's from Atlantis sunk right now that the military is guarding, but I've seen it and it's out there. They can show you. There were 13 clan mothers and 13 tribe mothers, and they had a council of 26 women. So a joint earth representation as well. And then they appointed their, whatever you want to call chiefs, whatever you want to call dragons. But that is what I've been told they're trying to put back, is to educate the tribal matriarchs. And there's a distinct difference in the blood and the blood type. And that's what needs to be addressed here. So that's why I'm encouraging, if you looked at Project Incension and you look at News Inside Out, because we're trying to get the sheriffs, and they are all having their oaths redone. There's 50,000 being redeputized right now. The sheriffs and the provost marshals to actually adhere to the tribal law. That's what I was just either. I was just part of the council, and I had them redrafted because I made them go that they would have to go to the international law. So recognize us as nations from wherever we come, but as long as we have national blood. And that's part of it. So I totally agree with you, but the blood type has to be sorted out. And there are many people here. Most of my friends are O negative, by the way, galactics. Okay. And they might be from Sirius. They might be from the Pleiadians, Octurians, whatever. So this has got nothing to do with just this little planet. I'm looking at it from an international point of view, and the nations are formed by the clans and the tribes. Anyway, thank you. And if you look at
available, are you available next Friday?
Let me get this camper thing straightened. I literally have got to go and make an entire circle from like the top of the Danae thing all the way back in here. And I have to meet with some of the very important people that are holders of this knowledge, because as you can appreciate, they will not communicate with this. And there are many things coming up, okay, not just to do with this snake venom and watch the water. My thing is to make sure that we have clean water and to findaspring.com and get these people there. And I'm the one that made the antidote. So I'm giving out, I've got to be in another meeting right away internationally, because I've got to get like 15,000 of my therapists that do genius biofeedback, the antidotes immediately, because that's why people are dropping. It's in the prescriptions, it's in the PCR test, and anyone that even is on a prescription is not going to probably make it, because the 5.5G has gone high. And if you need to see what's happening in every one of those areas, Bands Reserves Urban, that 6G has gone live right now, and everyone's burning, and you can't measure it. But if you go to National Citizens Alliance, you'll see how every city we've gone from Calgary to Canmore to whatever, Montreal, doesn't matter. Every reserve, every nation, the Anishinaabe, Sniots, wherever, this is live. And right now, people are
let's imagine for a minute. Let's imagine for a minute that this is all true, what you're saying. That, okay, and if this is true, people or whatever coming from other planets here to Earth, then I'll say that I am not, as a person of Earth, I am not going to participate in a treaty with those, whatever they are. They have no right here. Now, if this is true, what you are saying, and then I am not aware of it, but yet my blood may be mixed with it, then I am here illegally from another planet. And if I am, then truth, law will persist, and I will stand for law, identifying that then I do not have any right here. That means I do not have any right to enter into treaty here. So as a person of Earth, I am not going to enter into any treaty with any of these entities. The only treaty, again, that applies is the two-row wampum. This is of Earth. This is of us. Anybody else coming here, just like the white man coming from Europe, telling us this is how it's going to be or this is how it's going to be? No, never. It's not going to be.
This planet was set up by Gaia with treaties that go back, that are recorded. And again, I would just suggest people be open.
Well, I disagree with you. It's not true. We can establish by facts natural science of creation where our Mother Earth comes from. You're
And I
living
don't
in a
know,
fantasy.
do you know your blood type? Do you know your blood type? Like I may be positive. That's one of the oldest blood types on the entire planet.
I am not going to listen to what the white man
And
tells
I
me my
suggest
blood
people
type is.
get an
I
Eldon
am
card,
my blood type.
ELDON, Eldon card, and do a blood type testing. Anyway, thank you so much. Take care. God
Thank
alert.
Oh my goodness. I got to tell you, today, this is a lot of nonsense that I'm hearing. This is a lot of nonsense. People got to come
limited.
back down to earth, put their feet on earth here and deal with realities. Right now, you look on earth, there's crazy ass wars everywhere. There's insanity happening everywhere. And we're going to be talking about some supposed ancient treaty from who knows when, a bazillion years ago, that it implies that people from other planets are here, and we're going to factor these things in to determining how we're going to stop war on earth. I can see very clearly what's going on here. More confusion. No,
Really?
I'm not going to participate in this confusion. If you want to talk about matrilineal, Lisa, let's come back and talk about matrilineal law. I ain't going to talk about all this nonsense. This is nonsense. And no matter what people are imagining the greatness in their own minds of what they are, no, it's not that way. Things are going to happen, come crashing down very soon on Karen. You're going to see, because what she just said, oh my goodness.
Wow.
She has implicated herself into things that are happening on the reserves with policing that on the native reserves. They didn't give their okay for these things to happen. No, they didn't. There is something happening here that is a corruption that the white man is recognizing whites to filter into what the native reality is. It's not going to happen. Let's stop this. I am not going to be a part of this anymore. This is the second time. Not going to happen again. Lisa, we're going to go. If you want to, like I said, if you want to invite us back to talk about matrilineal anytime, we're very grateful for you for this process. And like I said, last night, a Zoom took place. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to post it. I would advise you to look at it. You don't have to, but it's people from across the country talking about you guys, about what yous are doing. No, not about you, Lisa, but about the other ones. Okay, so I don't know if you have anything, Lisa, that you want to ask us or anything you want to say, but if not, I'm not going to continue my conversation with Eagle Eye. And so there's nothing else for me, no one else here to talk to. So if there's something you want to ask me directly, if not, we'll go today.
Kelly, you have your hand raised.
Yes, all I can say is that I am here, I guess, as a witness. My name is Kelly Lee Shears. I'm the daughter of Beverly Mary Jean Blumenshine, the granddaughter of Betty McCorkadale Rintoul. I am a person who I guess stands in the middle because as Stuart said, the correction is I'm not Métis, but I am of Cree ancestry through my father, Neowak. These people are talking about Meredith Quinn, and he's no longer alive to speak for himself. The things I saw him recorded by two Rocky Mountain Cree guys who I witnessed identify themselves as you can't even get this online anymore. It's all been tied up in some school and you have to pay to get to hear him say, which was free on Facebook. The where what I see as a witness here, I see three people telling everybody who they are, but not one of them identifying their mothers or their grandmothers, their matrilineal lines upon this earth. So we've got 1,000 aliens on our planet. Who cares? Because this is Mother Earth, and you are either connected to her or you're not. That's how I see it. What I witness here is white people once again coming into original people's land and dictating to them what they know and what they are and what everything is. I witnessed it my whole life. I didn't know of my
The red cross in the circle,
excuse me.
my family. It's right above her head.
Can we mute Eagle Eye, please? Because it isn't.
My mother taught me, once again, I'm saying this, that I don't go into anybody's house and think that I can tell them what to say or what to do or what to think. She taught me that just within the level of me being a child.
Okay, that's what students do. Yep.
She taught me that as a child going into people's, just their homes. And that ended up becoming my understanding for the world. What I see continually, because of my own path getting lost as a child for 1.5 years, what I see here is a continual casting of the nightmare spell, the witchcraft spell upon everybody on this planet. If you're born here, then there is sacred law of Mother Earth to follow. And that sacred law has nothing to do with any other galactic nations. And if these people all came here and they ceded our place, then why are we not seeing them? Like, not just in camouflage because they're in human bodies. So for me, I'm a person of reality and concrete. Being an early childhood educator, I know that I need to see a concrete example. So until the day I see my own alien, I will say that that doesn't exist, but not saying that it doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist for me. What I see is people who are corrupted, and maybe there's dark forces that take over them. But, you know, to have I'm sort of blown away at what I'm witnessing here, because I see three people just, you know, first of all, getting mad when someone is just questioning them to find out the truth. And there's no reason why we should get mad when we're trying to bring truth into any situation. Truth has a way of dispelling all the mistruths, all the brainwashing, all the lies. And so, you know, again, in a matrilineal law, that was my conflict and my crisis, is because I do have a white mother, and I do have a heart that's connected to Turtle Island and wanting to return. I had a vision of my mother when she passed. The vision, when being awake in this world, standing, you know, and all of a sudden I move into another realm, and in that new place, I see my mother standing in front of me, and she says to me, "I promise I'll help bring you back to your native people." When I came back into this world, I realized that was a truth. People can say that, oh, okay, that's your imagination. That's fine, because how do I prove that? But I do know that my mother is white. I do know that my father's of Native ancestry. I do know that I want to belong to Turtle Island. I do know that I want to follow the laws of these lands, the sacred laws, which is matrilineal, because that is within my own white side of my being. And so in this land, my mother was my clan mother in my family. She wasn't a clan mother for Turtle Island, because where do we begin the respect if we don't begin the respect for our mothers and for the mothers that are here? So I'm just sort of, I don't even know what to say, because as a white child growing up, in the way my different levels of awareness came into me, before I even found out through my father's passing, I was Cree of ancestry, I knew whose land I was on. I knew that I had to respect those people's land and their ways. Yeah. And so and then I brought this to, before I knew of you guys, I brought this to Stuart because I had seen online this Eagle Eye Treaty and all that. And when I saw that it was all these white people's signatures saying, giving authority over these lands, that I had to bring it to Stuart. Like, what do you think? Because I have enough spiritual understanding at this age of 62 years old, that, and through my mother's teachings, that I am on red original people's lands. This is not white. And so to have people, regardless, who are coming from a white matrilineal line, to speak as if they have the authority over anyone, and not to be humbly presenting themselves to actually bring what when I come here, I bring either direct experience or my limited understanding to try to help me understand more. But I do have my connection to Mother Earth, and that is my foundation, especially without my mom being here now. She is my foundation. And I know that that we can only move forward with respect, truth. It doesn't matter all our labels. It doesn't matter what we think we have. And I really believe, for me, not for anyone else, anything tied to military and guns, and that, it is part of the corruption and it is part of the spell. And I am in full agreement with Stuart. Me personally, I will listen, because I know that wisdom comes from hearing both sides, even the insides of insanity, the insides of the insights of logic, all these things. It has to come to the table to be able to see what's going on. And I think that's probably what this is a part of, is that we are seeing the pure insanity of the Roman Empire, the British Empire in here. I don't care if Queen Elizabeth is dead or not. There's, it's that corruption is still here, and that corruption was brought by the whites. And I saw this as a white kid, before I ever knew my native ancestry. So I say it doesn't matter where you're from, where you're born on Mother Earth, you got to figure out the corruption. And anybody who's like, I've got the military and this military, I know how I got lost on this earth, and then I found my way back after a year and a half. And so my wisdom heart of whoever the woman that I am, when I see people being young and going into military, I know they've been corrupted. I know they're lost. And then it just defines how they find themselves back to their mothers and back to Mother Earth. Truth lies within every one of ourselves. And as soon as someone starts, yelling, telling someone in their own house that they know more than them, like they know where the sugar is, and they know where their mother's sleeping, and they know where their father's shoes are, I have a problem with that. That brings out my own anger, because I've been blessed to have a mother who taught me respect. And so I guess that's all that I can say for all of this. And I feel I'm very blessed to be witnessing all this, because this has been, again, I listened to Meredith Quinn, those 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, whatever it was. And he talked about all these treaties of the world, but there's no proof of them. I mean, he says that, but he's not here to speak of himself. He's not here. And you guys are speaking on behalf of all these people, and not one of them is here speaking for themselves. And that's, and that to me really has to be, that's how we get to truth, not by what I say, I heard Meredith Quinn say, or this person say, but by my direct experience and what, I can say I went to Haute Villa, and this is what the Sun Clan's chief son said to me, but I don't have that proof. So one of my roles is then to connect the Haute Villa community to Stuart, so that they can actually speak between each other. Because I was a white kid through my mother, I can only be the bridge between maybe the two people connecting. I can't speak as an authority, even though been given knowledge, or given permission. My children's book, I was given permission to include their community within my storyline of my children's book. So I don't have to worry about that. They saw it, they liked it, they gave me that permission. And I guess I'm gonna leave with that. Blessings to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
I do have a question. I'm not sure, Stuart, why you're identifying Moon as a European and not accepting his blood. I understand, you're questioning eagles. I'm a little concerned that emotion is getting in the way of communication, and it seems a bit of cognitive dissonance, I believe is what it's called. And I find it, but why are you identifying Moon as non-native?
Okay, it's not me identifying him as non-native. It's what he said. Well, now, okay, maybe I'm not speaking about the right guy here. Now, this is the problem when you get two guys and one is off screen and one is on screen. A problem is created there as to perception. Who am I talking to? Which
Can you
one am I
see
listening?
Moon right there on the screen right now?
Okay, just let me explain. You asked me a question, I'm answering the question. So it's because of what was there, not what's here right now, present, what was there, what was being represented. Two people, I don't know. And I still don't differentiate. I don't know if when I seen written down or what I hear, I don't know if it's two names or if it's one name. I don't know. This is why it's a crazy situation. Nobody, you should never do that, Lisa, again. Nobody should ever be involved in any kind of communication where if we were in a live council, you'd only see me. You wouldn't see, there wouldn't be somebody else talking in my ear behind me. You know what that is? That's Freemasonry. That's what Freemasons do. They got the person speaking in the person's ear behind. They got that little door in the wall behind their seat, and they speak through that to them. Anyway, so I'm going based on what I think I heard now. Now, maybe I'm mixing it up between the two guys there, but what I heard was that somebody identified that they were adopted into the Cree Nation somewhere, I think in northern Manitoba. Am I talking about the right person right now? Are we talking about the same person?
That is Eagle Eye Man. The other man is Moon, who I believe his blood is Turtle Island. So
Okay, so we're talking about the other guy. We're not talking about the one that I just described.
right.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll just go on based on what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at, and the conduct. I don't see any kind of native conduct in this. I do see somebody who looks white, doesn't look native. So I just look at, well, that's a non-native person. And the conduct, I don't see native conduct in it. So I don't know, maybe then you can explain to me precisely what community you come from, who your mother is.
Moon,
Okay, I was born at Oswego, as I explained. My mother is Edna Lillian Irene Wright. Her mother was named Bertha Stone. I do not know anything that would be of substance to you to tell you about my female lineage. because everything's been stuffed down my throat. It's all male. Anyway, my father kept everything secret. My mother kept everything secret. I had to learn this through our people. I am 100% guaranteed Indigenous. I am double O negative. And those who think that O negatives are aliens, they've got a thing coming. We were here first. 243,000 years, according to the white man. So who we are, where we are, it doesn't matter. What matters is what we do together. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to be baited into a fight. I came here to offer, actually, Stuart, a way out of his dilemma. When we were on conference calls earlier, 12 years ago, the clan mothers and I decided we had a problem because the rest of the clan mothers didn't know who they were. And if they did, they were afraid to do anything because we're always silenced. And what we came up with is a criteria of qualities that are desirable in the interests of women, children, and men to sort out the leader. The leader is the one who cares for all others, the one who will take the food from their table and give it to someone who doesn't have. They will be the one who sees a child crying and picks them up and gives them a hug and says it's okay. Because at the end of the day, all of it is about our mothers. All of it is about our mothers. I barely knew mine. I knew mine as she would abduct me, so she had me long enough to get a welfare check. And then she shipped me right back to my dad. And we ended up in family court and all that miserable process to divide us. My family's divided. My sister was destroyed at 8 years old. Destroyed. Can't have babies. And I'm just sitting here hanging on one thread of sanity in the belief that my people, your people can get together and we can discuss things and set it straight. If I've disturbed you, I'm terribly sorry because you need it. You need to wake up. You need to see what the hell's going on. As far as my mother goes, she's the only one who told me the truth. She told me who I was. So if your mother tells you who you are, that's who you are. My mother told me. And she did that before she died because she was murdered in a hospital by doctors who turned her away 16 times after a stroke. So look, I'm not here for this. I love you all, I really do. But at the end of the day, we have to sort the shit from the cream. Cream rises, and the shit goes away. And yes, we are the original aliens, O negatives, because of the simple fact is we were here first. We were seeded by those who came from behind the sun. We call the sun gods. At the end of the day, if you don't know enough, don't judge open-handed and then slap somebody because it doesn't fit within your perspective. We all have a perspective. And we're all wrong. We're all right. We're okay. What we got to get over is that we're all suffering from identity crisis. We're having to prove ourselves, being induced into a system that's killing us. So, end of the day, I'm here, right here. Anytime you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But it's not going to change anything unless you change. You've got to lift yourself up, look around and see what's going on. If you stick to your reserve, well, that's the concentration camp, isn't it? If you go to another reserve, that's just another concentration camp. There's got to be a time when this oppression, this unbelievable state government, all of it is going to need us. You're going to need me. I'm going to need you. We need each other. So go ahead. You pick all you want. I have a tooth. Actually, they're all rotted from heavy metals. But at the end of the day, I have a tooth. You want to test it? You're welcome to. Okay? I love you all. I really hope that this can grow into something beautiful. I don't
Thank
have
you,
time to
Ben.
fight men. I don't have time with that. If I've disrespected anyone, I'm sorry. That's not my job. My job is just to authorize the original venue return to the women. And I'm still waiting for the women to come. Maybe they will. Good day. Tim?
Okay,
Sure.
so Lisa, you see that the answer to my question is still in, I mean, the answer to your question is still in the answer or what he presents. Still full of holes. I mean, it doesn't identify.
A genocide occurred. A genocide occurred. I'm sorry, I am not everything you need me to be.
Go ahead and talk. It's your turn, apparently.
Yeah, well, your disrespect. Man, you got to get a grip with that. But at the end of the
Disrespect is
day,
for you to talk, and then when I'm talking back, is for you to interfere. That's disrespect.
no, I was
No,
replying.
not disrespect for you to do it.
No, no.
Okay, as I was answering,
You're baiting me.
answering
Don't bait me.
Lisa, I was answering a question that Lisa put forward. And then I said, well, where's he from? Okay, so then all you should have answered was a very clear answer as to where you're from, and you didn't. You didn't.
I did. I was born on Oswegan territory. Where were you born?
Okay, in
I was
Guanajuato.
born there. Don't
All right.
frustrate me.
You were born in
No,
Oswegan territory.
Don't frustrate people. You don't do that.
Let's examine you. Let's
Go
examine
ahead.
you.
You don't know anything about
Let's
me.
see.
Please
Let's
examine
see.
away. Go ahead. Do it. You don't know anything.
I'll wait for you to stop talking.
Well, that's good.
Okay, let's see. You were born in Oswegan. I would estimate that you were probably born around 1963, right?
Bingo.
Yep. Okay, so Oswegan, 1963. All right, I know the place. All right. So let's see. Were you born in Oswegan? No, you weren't. You were born in Brantford because nobody was born in Oswegan in 1963. So you're born in the Brantford Hospital. That's a fact.
No, I wasn't. I was born on the side of the road on the boundary.
Oh, okay. Now
If you
you're
listened to me the first time, you would have got all my details
okay.
within the limitations of my knowledge.
Okay. All right. Then it's easy to find. Easy to find who your mother is.
Yeah, well, I know who she is. She gave birth to me. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was born by her.
She was from Oswegan. Which of the 6 nations that are in Oswegan is she from?
She's from Turtle Clan.
She's from Turtle Clan. Which of the nations?
What?
What? What? Come on. You are
Which
living
nation?
a fantasy.
No. Don't pull this bullshit over my eyes, please.
No, you put it over your own eyes.
No, I didn't. You're playing mind games. I don't have time for this. And I am a victim and a survivor of this system and your neglect. Your neglect. Who was there to save me?
Okay.
Who?
Now we're getting to the issue. It's about
No,
you.
yeah, we get into the issue because I was tortured as a child for my blood. Do not tell me. I was sex trafficked by Freemasons, 2 Freemasons, and they made movies. You want me to be what? You? I'm not you. I've survived all of this stuff. I'm the one who's putting my face out there over and over again to meet up with people like you who shut me down, shut me up because I'm not native enough. Don't play that game. My
Okay.
blood is pure. I am inbred. Are you inbred? Are you inbred?
You are an
My
inbred.
blood
I
is pure.
agree. I agree. You're an inbred.
Yes.
I'm not an
Yes.
inbred. I'm a wolf clan.
And you
Clans
don't know
are
what
not
that
inbred.
means. And you don't know what that means in claim, do you?
An inbred? Yeah, I know what that means. You're a blue blood from Europe.
No, I'm not.
That's where the inbreds come from.
Oh, my lineage comes from Peru.
From where?
Peru.
Peru. Peru? Brantford? Peru? Where's Brantford?
No, you're just a smart ass.
Are you really that fucking stupid, Stuart?
Guys,
I'm sorry,
stop.
but you just
Everybody,
the
enough.
way you keep fucking trying to
Guys.
bait people
No, white
around,
man.
you're just
Come on,
like,
white man. Show your
ass.
face. Come on, white man. Don't swear from the side. Put your face in
Hey,
there.
hey, boy, guess what?
White man.
You talk about people sitting on the side and then call it a Mason thing. Did it ever occur to you we've got one laptop and I'm not going to sit on his lap to speak? No, I guess not, eh? Because you'd rather infer things to back up your position and your
You're a
ignorance.
funny guy. You know that? You're a funny white man.
Yeah, and you're a funny native. You've got no clan mother. Unless those ladies are going to stand up and uphold the law, you've
To the
got no
white
law.
man telling me I got no clan mother.
You told us that yourself in the
Lisa,
first.
Like
Hey,
I said,
Stuart,
we got it. We're
Stuart,
not
I got a
dealing with
question
these
for you.
This
stupid
is
Did you not
becoming
say that
non-
in the last interview? Is that not exactly what you said? You were
And what?
holding your position under emergency power because your clan mothers did not want to uphold the law and you have no clan mother at the
No,
moment?
that's not what I said.
Because those were
That's
your
not what I
pretty
said.
much, I'm pretty sure
I'll
that was your
challenge you
exact
right now. I'll
words.
challenge you. Go back and get that video, buddy. Go back
Well,
and
we
get the
will.
video and let's watch it.
Because
You're
you
a
talked
goddamn
about you
liar.
being in a position of holding your power under emergency
Yeah, but-
authorization because your clan mothers declined to uphold the law. They said, let's not uphold the law is what you said.
Yeah, and what else
Yeah.
was said? What else?
And
What
you haven't got one since, you said.
And what else was said?
You haven't got one since, so you
Okay,
haven't
you
got
see,
one.
this is what happens when you talk to a white man who thinks that he's talking knowledgeable about us. We talk about law, buddy. Hey, law. And you know
Did
what?
you
When
say
there's
you've got a
there's
clan mother?
policies, provision. Go ahead
Do
and
you have
talk.
a head
Go ahead
clan
and
mother
talk,
in your
white man.
clan? Stuart, do you got a head clan mother in your clan right now?
Yes. Yes.
Good, because that's not what you said, and I'm glad that you do, because then you've got some law to uphold.
Oh, well, yes, it's true. I have a head clan mother, and the head clan mother is that unbroken bloodline. There doesn't have to be a physical mother there. What you are doing is you're mincing words because in one instance you said you gave reference to what I said that the
You notice how
last
you're the
woman-
one that minces
Okay,
words.
white man, come on, white man. You know what I say to you? I say, shut up. Go back to
Yes,
Europe.
and
shut
I
up.
say the same
All
to
right,
you
Lisa.
because you are.
All right.
How do they
Well,
say
then
that?
maybe you should say it to my face sometime, white man. Maybe we should meet somewhere, and I'll give you the opportunity to say that to my face.
Oh, I would love to do that,
Okay,
Stuart.
let's plan on that, buddy. And we're gonna
Because
see what's gonna happen.
I come in peace.
You're gonna
And
leave
for
in pieces.
anybody listening,
All
if you
right,
listen
Lisa.
to what I said,
I'm not
remember
for
this,
nonsense
ladies.
with this white
The
boy.
Creator's
Okay,
law
is
is
there
all about
anything
love
else that you
and
want to ask me here
inclusion,
today, Lisa?
and there are no color
Lisa,
lines,
anything
ladies.
else you want to say to me
Anytime
today?
you hear somebody referring to someone by their color skin or automatically assuming and presuming and calling them Europeans,
This is
for
what the white
example,
man
because
does,
they've got
and
white
you're the
skin.
prime example.
Who's talking to you? I'm not talking
You're
to you.
the
I'm talking to the ladies here.
exemplification.
Remember what I said, ladies. The
Okay,
Creator's law
Lisa,
is about
is there
love,
anything then that
It's
any final
all-inclusive.
thing that you want to say, because we're going to close off now
and
from
that
this.
the Indian religion was the only
Okay,
religion in
see
the
you
world
later,
that has
Lisa.
no
If you don't want to
color
come in and
lines,
take
ladies.
control, we're leaving.
So that's as simple as
All
that.
Thank you.
Okay, you didn't take control, Lisa, so we're
I'm
leaving.
going to say thank you, everyone. This has been actually rather non-productive and argumentative, and is not at all what I hoped. It has devolved into arguing and name calling And I don't know that it has moved us forward in our conversation about reestablishing matrilineality. What we have devolved into is arguing amongst men.